How about them Cowboys? Angry Cowboys fan. Oh, born to battle. Hey, hey. Storm just means we never sell. America's team through thick and thin. Hey, hey. When the star shines bright, that's when we win. Angry Cowboys fan.
What's going on, Cowboys Nation and angry Cowboys fans around the world? Y'all know who it is. It's your man, the Angry Cowboys fan, and we're going with round 2 of Colin Cowherd stating the obvious when it comes to the Dallas Cowboys QB1 in Dak Prescott. You thought we were done with yesterday's video? Nah, Cowboys Nation, I got a hell of a lot more where that came from, and also I got a hell of a lot more to say to those haters in my comment section. But during his FS1 show of The Herd, Colin Cowherd continued to throw praises at Dak Prescott, and he damn sure deserves it. I don't care what any of the haters have to say. Over the years, Colin Cowherd has had zero praise for Dak Prescott. Dak Prescott has done something out of the ordinary to change Colin Cowherd's take on his play. So we're going to take a listen to the 3 clips that I got for y'all, and y'all know what we're going to do. We're going to come back and unpack this raw and uncut. So, Angry Cowboys fans, let's take a listen to the first clip from Colin Cowherd's The Herd.
But when Dak Prescott broke into this league, Zeke was a great running back. The O-line, Tyron Smith, Zach Martin, it was the best O-line in a decade in the NFL. Dak got a lot of credit and didn't have to do a lot of heavy lifting. He had to babysit Dez Bryant. That was about it. But he was a little overrated. Now this Dak is not getting enough credit. They don't have a number 1 receiver currently. The offensive line is still in a rebuild mode. Running game, okay. Staff, fine. Defense, last in the league. Okay, Dak Prescott, Sam Darnold, Baker Mayfield. It's like they've hit the 10,000-hour rule. Like they're all smart guys, but they have reached another level of football IQ. And Dak's gone from a little overrated to now underappreciated. If I had an MVP vote today, I would vote probably Baker Mayfield 1 and Dak 2. I would give Baker it because he's won more games and he's won them late, but also Baker Mayfield has the better general manager, the better rookie receiver. I think the overall roster in Tampa is much better than the Cowboys roster. But this Dak, right now, what you're seeing Dak Prescott do, this is the best Dak I've ever seen.
You see, Cowboys Nation, this is where we differ in our takes when it comes to Colin Cowherd and myself. I don't think that Dak Prescott was overhyped when he came into the league. Bro was set to be the backup to the backup, and as fate would have it, Tony Romo and Kellen Moore would go down to injuries. Tony Romo went down to the injury in the preseason, springing Dak Prescott into that starting position. Bro lost the first game to the New York Giants, of course, but ended the 2016 regular season 13-3 with Rookie of the Year honors. I'm sorry, but for a 4th-round draft pick who wasn't slated to even see the field outside of preseason, how is that being overhyped, Cowboys Nation? But jumping into the second clip that I got for you, Colin Cowherd continues to speak on how Dak Prescott is playing this year. So let's go ahead and take a listen to what he got to say so we could come back and talk about it. Roll the clip.
And here's the other thing to remember about Dak, where he deserves a lot of credit. Everybody said when Dez Bryant left, he was in trouble. Nope. When Zeke left, he's in trouble. Tyron Smith left. Micah left. The great Zach Martin. All these great players have left. And every time, as long as Dak Prescott is upright, the Cowboys win double-digit games. I mean, let's be honest. Sometimes it takes a long time. You got to read to the end of the book. Yeah, you ever read a mystery or a murder mystery and you kind of figure it out by the 4th or 5th chapter? And then the really great books, like all of a sudden you're like in chapter 10, 12. Dak, you got to peel this onion. You got to peel this. There was a little overhyped Dak with a great O-line and a great run game. And Jerry Jones at the time felt not quite as meddling. And then all of a sudden it's Mike McCarthy and Dak's actually putting up better numbers. And now McCarthy leaves. Brian Schottenheimer, who nobody loved. CeeDee Lamb is hurt. Mike is gone. It is a lot of C-plus players, and they're still rebuilding this offensive line, and Dak looks unbelievable.
All right, Cowboys Nation, y'all tell me where y'all see the discrepancies in what Colin Cowherd is saying. But real talk, Cowboys Nation, when Micah Parsons left the Dallas Cowboys, a lot of the talking heads, the rival fan bases, as well as some in Cowboys Nation said that the Dallas Cowboys were cooked this year. I understand that our record is 2-1 right now, but in the first year of Brian Schottenheimer's tenure as the Dallas Cowboys head coach, not only do the Dallas Cowboys have a #1 offense in the league, you're starting to see the depth on this team start to shine and play like Cowboys Nation has been asking them to play. I understand the defense needs to catch up, but what I saw against the Jets, just give it time, and I got a feeling that we're going to be in contention sooner rather than later. But jumping into that last clip that I got for you, Colin Cowherd talks about the quarterbacks that are playing out of their mind during this 2025 season. So let's go ahead and take a listen to that so we can come back and unpack this raw and uncut.
So you can't, sometimes the record doesn't belie the truth. Dak's playing out of his mind. So is Baker, so is Darnold. It's these old guys. They got the 10,000 hours. But I think I would vote Baker Mayfield MVP of the league today. I think I would have right now Dak runner-up. From, a little overhyped to, is everybody paying attention to what's happening here? Coaching staff, ownership, O-line. I mean, find me a guy in the league that's working with a bunch of mid that's putting up those numbers. Well, it's the Jets. Well, the Jets look pretty good against the Steelers. The Jets didn't look that bad last week. Whatever's happening, Dak goes on the road. It's one of my favorite picks of the week. I mean, that thing was, what was that thing? 23-3 at half, 30-3 at one point? And Dak's putting on a clinic. That is amazing.
Find me a guy that's playing with a bunch of mid. Damn, that's a pretty bold statement, Cowboys Nation. But let's go ahead and get in depth with it, all right? Y'all ready for this raw and uncut? Y'all ready? Let's get it. Get ready for the angry Cowboys fans, raw and uncut.
I'm keeping it real. They keep it real. That's real.
First and foremost, Cowboys Nation, allow me to put this out here. I apologize ahead of time if I get a little rowdy during this raw and uncut, but what I'm about to say needs to be said. Some people in this damn fan base are extremely ungrateful when it comes to the play of your QB1. Davion Clowney said it perfectly that the players are spoiled, but I look at it more in depth. The fan base has been spoiled with great quarterback play over the last two decades. And because we haven't been able to make it to an NFC championship game yet, automatically the quarterback's a bum. Automatically the quarterback can't play. Automatically the quarterback is ass. Automatically the quarterback ain't gonna get us to the promised land where we want to be. And let's not act like these same people who gave Tony Romo all this credit after he retired, that they wasn't calling Tony Romo out of his name when he was the QB1 for the Dallas Cowboys. Same people that drag Dak Prescott's name through the mud are the same people that think that it's all up to your QB1 to carry the entire team to a championship. Also, let's not act as if this Dallas Cowboys team were to make it to an NFC championship and lose, that y'all would be satisfied. The level of hatred would intensify if we were to make it to an NFC championship game and lose. Y'all know it. The goalposts would be moved, and y'all know it. But some fans have gone on this season expecting that this Dallas Cowboys team is going to make it to the playoffs and go to the Super Bowl. No wonder people in rival fan bases consider this fan base delusional, because that's another tall order for this coaching staff as well as these players. But these fans don't give a shit. They don't give a damn. All they care about is winning the Super Bowl. And I get it. I truly get it. You want a Super Bowl. This is what the players play for, and this is what the coaches coach for. But I'm pretty sure that they want a Super Bowl a hell of a lot more than the fans do. They also realize something that said fans can't seem to comprehend or wrap their head around. It takes an entire organization to win a championship. it takes more than one person to win a championship. That it takes everyone in the organization to give Super Bowl effort in order to make it to a Super Bowl. Nope. They expect Dak Prescott or whoever's at the quarterback position to just pick everybody up and put them on his back and go to the Super Bowl. How's that working for Patrick Mahomes this year? Even with the great Andy Reid, the Kansas City Chiefs found themselves at 2-3, meaning that it's going to take a little bit more than Patrick Mahomes to get it done this year. So why is it expected of our quarterback just to get it done no matter who's on the field? Also, let's not fail to mention the fact that Dak Prescott has had four offensive coordinators during his tenure as the Dallas Cowboys QB1, and Cowboys Nation sees that this offense has been top 5 under each one of those coaches. With a carousel of different running backs, wide receiver by committee, offensive linemen that are scabs that are pretty much filling in for each other. Which player has been the constant on this team during said time frame? Rain Dakota Prescott. I mean, you know, Cowboys Nation, I don't mean to come on here and try to glaze Dak Prescott, but I know talent when I see it. And I know it's been 10 years and Dak Prescott hasn't led this team to an NFC championship or to a Super Bowl, but I feel that there's some people in Cowboys Nation who can't be, let's say, patient with their wants to a Super Bowl. They got to have the Super Bowl right now. And believe me, I know it's been 30 years. I've suffered through that 30 years. I was here to watch 3 Super Bowls. There's people in Cowboys Nation that have seen all 5, but I was here to see 3 of those Super Bowls. So I know how hungry you are for a Super Bowl. Those fans that are 29 years or younger, I know how hungry you are for a Super Bowl. But rest assured that this takes time. You might not even get there with Dak Prescott, but does that mean that Dak Prescott and this Dallas Cowboys offense is ass? Does that mean that Dak Prescott is just a bum when it comes to his position? I'm sorry, Cowboys Nation, but you don't get the stats that Dak Prescott has being ass. You just don't do it. And really, it really makes me question people's football acumen and their football IQ when they come on here and they try to down talk or degrade our QB1, knowing that our QB1 is going out there and balling out, seeing this week in and week out. But when we don't get to your final destination, that's when you got to blame somebody. And when you blame somebody, you're going to blame one person. And that one person is the person that everybody knows. And that is Dak Prescott. I'm sorry, Cowboys Nation, but I really can't rock with that. I cannot rock with that for the simple fact I'm not trying to toot my own horn or anything, but I know football. I know what it takes in football. I know what it takes to win that championship game. Not toot my own horn, like I said, not bragging or anything, but it's the truth. Those that have played football, those that watch football with their eyes, actually break down film, get more in depth as opposed to just watching the game and seeing where the ball goes. These people know, these men and these women know what's up and how to get to a Super Bowl. We're not going to get there with all the politics that's being played with the Dallas Cowboys. We're not going to get there if Jerry and Stephen Jones continue to put their hands in the cookie jar to mess up everything that we got going. We're not going to get there if Brian Schottenheimer has to come up with 2 schemes, one for the team and one for Jerry Jones, because, hey, Jerry might come down from the front office and say that we got to play somebody that Brian Schottenheimer might not want to play. This happened last year with Mike McCarthy. It happened the year before that with Mike McCarthy. Honestly, it happened throughout Mike McCarthy's tenure as the head coach of the Dallas Cowboys. Now that Brian Schottenheimer's here and we have a complete overhaul of this coaching staff, maybe things will be a little different, Cowboys Nation. Maybe Jerry and Stephen Jones will keep their hand out of the cookie jar so that Brian Schottenheimer can make it do what it do so we can get a championship. I mean, let's not get it twisted. Brian Schottenheimer, as an offensive coordinator, was able to get the New York Jets under Rex Ryan to an AFC championship. He may not have gotten to a Super Bowl, but he has got to the big game of the AFC championship, meaning the Dallas Cowboys have a chance to get to the NFC championship. It may not be this year, and I want Cowboys Nation to really just fall back. Understand that in your first year, you may not make it to the championship. In your first year, you may only make it to the playoffs. You may be divisional or wild card round and done. But does that mean that the team sucks? Does that mean that Brian Schottenheimer didn't do his job? Does that mean that Dak Prescott is ass? No, Cowboys Nation. What it means is that you take the good from this year, you take it and you build upon it. You build upon it through free agency, and you build upon it in the draft. We got a lot of draft picks that we can wheel and deal in order to get better positioning in the draft for 2026. And there's only a few positions that we really, truly need for this Dallas Cowboys team. The linebacker position. Even though we have DeMarvie and Overshown coming back from injury, we could definitely bolster that position group. Defensive tackle position. Yes, we have Kenny Clark, we got Mozzie Smith, and we got Jay Toya. But who's to say that we can't bolster that so if one of those guys come out, that production doesn't fall off? You've seen it against the New York Jets with the offensive line. 4 starters out. And we still made it do what it do. We still was able to keep Dak Prescott clean. Yes, they got 1 hurry up and they got 1 sack, but it is what it is. These guys, these rookies for the Dallas Cowboys offense was able to get it done. So it just perplexes me how Dallas Cowboys fans, I'll say some Dallas Cowboys fans, will continue to degrade the team that they root for, will continue to go on social media and try to bring up the negativity of the team that they root for. How do you do this, Cowboys Nation? Let's say if you got a woman, you got a lady in your life, you like her very much, you support her very much, you can continue to put her down just because she isn't doing what you want her to do? That's basically just what you're doing with the Dallas Cowboys. Right now, you want them to go to a Super Bowl, but they haven't made it in the last 30 years. It's not the fact that they suck. It's just the fact that we haven't gotten the pieces together in order to get over the hump. And whenever we know we can look at the position groups and see what we need in order to get over the hump, it's Dak has to do more with less. Cowboys Nation, I have said this before and I'll say it again. I believe more that Jerry and Stephen Jones and this organization has wasted the talents of some great players more than I believe that a player like Dak Prescott or Zach Martin or Tyron Smith or DeMarcus Ware, that they suck. I'm sorry, that just doesn't rock with me, Cowboys Nation. And as far as Colin Cowherd, yes, gotta take the compliments. You gotta take the compliments because for the last few years, Colin Cowherd has been on Dak Prescott the same way as Stephen A. Smith has been on Dak Prescott. So when you can get a hater to change their tune and actually give somebody some props because they see what's going on, they see how they're playing with what they have. You gotta tip your hat to it, Cowboys Nation. You have to tip your hat to it. And if you don't, you're just a hater. I'll keep it a buck. You're just a hater. And I don't understand why somebody would just go out of their way to hate the person that's leading your team. It doesn't make sense to me, Cowboys Nation. And honestly, it never will. So I will go to my grave protecting all the players on this team if they are making an impact. And Dak Prescott, damn it, is making an impact. You saw it against the Green Bay Packers. We wouldn't have been in that game if it wasn't for Dak Prescott in the offense. We wouldn't have tied up the game. We wouldn't have taken the lead if it wasn't for Dak Prescott in that offense. You seen against the New York Jets how Ryan Flournoy got over 100 yards, a player that hadn't even taken the field that much last year, a player that was just a rookie a year removed. Cowboys Nation, we have a field general. Yes, the last of a dying breed in the backfield for us, and that's Dak Prescott. And we should be giving him the benefit of the doubt because he has been the deciding factor in all of these years. He has been the one to help us get to the playoffs. Without Dak Prescott, I don't know what this Dallas Cowboys team has, Cowboys Nation. And as far as the haters out there, everybody's talking about Dak Prescott, how you want him gone. Who you gonna replace him with? I mean, I know we got the 2-5 record in the playoffs, but who's gonna get you there? Joe Milton? Is he gonna get you to the playoffs, Cowboys Nation? Are we gonna go into the draft and draft a quarterback to get us there year one? Oh no, if it ain't Dak Prescott, you'll go draft a quarterback and be like, oh, we need to give him time. You didn't give that same respect to Dak Prescott, so I don't expect the same respect to our new quarterback. So, until Dak Prescott starts to fall off of a cliff, until his talent really starts to regress, I am going to be 10 toes down for Dak Prescott in this offense. I am going to be 10 toes down for him to be the leader of this Dallas Cowboys team. I am going to be 10 toes down for Brian Schottenheimer and the schemes that he's developing with Clayton Adams running this offense. I am going to be 10 toes down with Connor Riley and the way that he's constructing this offensive line and the big guys over there winning their battles. I am going to be 10 toes down because I am truly DC for life. This has been your man, the Angry Cowboys fan. Cowboys Nation, what do you feel about what Colin Cowherd had to say on The Herd, the official FS1 show? Y'all know how we do. We always talk about it in the comment section. If you're digging this content and want to help the channel reach its current goal of 20,000 subscribers, drop a like on this video and please consider sharing it with anybody that you know is a Dallas Cowboys fan. And if you are DC for life and you got number 4's back, you 10 toes down for this Dallas Cowboys team, everybody on this team, hit that subscribe button. Hit the bell to be notified whenever I go live, release a video, podcast episode, and when I get the money to go ahead and re-up on the NFL Plus, film breakdowns, or Madden 26 or College Football 26 gameplay. You know, Cowboys Nation, this is not me coming up here glazing Dak Prescott. This is me coming up here praising a player that is playing exceptionally for the team that I root for. Give this man a chance. Give Brian Schottenheimer a chance, and I know what you guys are going to say. Well, we gave him a chance. He's been on this team for 10 years. Give him more of a chance. And until he starts falling off, how about you root for your damn quarterback? But this has been your man, the Angry Cowboys fan, and I'm out. Dang, Angry Cowboys fan, you done made it through the entire video. But if you want more content, you can definitely go to this video right here. Or if you want the latest episode of the Angry Cowboys Fan Podcast, you can go right here. But whatever you do, like, share, and subscribe to the channel, but remain DC for life.